it's like we said, 37 years later, God knows how many matches have been done in that one time. I remember, what was the first WrestleMania that you watched?
I think the first WrestleMania... So I don't know the exact first one that I watched. I know the first one that I remember watching was WrestleMania 20, where I sat and I watched the whole thing from start to end. That was probably my first, real WrestleMania experience. I probably had caught, matches here and there before that, but that was, my first, I'm sitting down to watch WrestleMania, and this is, I'm purposely watching it, the whole thing from start to end.
I still have the DVD of that.
It actually is my favorite WrestleMania match of all time. Also takes place during WrestleMania 20, and that is Benoit, Triple H, Shawn Michaels for the World Heavyweight Championship.
That's your favorite?
It's absolutely my favorite match of all time. Well, my favorite WrestleMania match of all time.
Yeah, I have to rewatch that one. It is really good, and none of us were expecting Chris Benoit to win. It's just, it sucks what happened.
Yes.
Eventually with him and the situation with his family and
yes,
just putting a black on his career and just and the business itself. But we won't get into that on this one. I want to let's do a happy podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have time for that at some point, but not today.
Those three guys were the top of the wrestling industry at that time. I think that was 2004. Yeah, 2004. They were the top of the wrestling industry, and they just put on an absolute clinic.
Yeah, they did. And I think and Triple H and Shawn Michaels both were bleeding heavily.
Oh yeah. Triple H was really bad. And then you had Guerrero versus Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship, another great match, and probably one of the best WrestleMania moments of all time. Chris Benoit wins the championship. The crowd's going crazy, freaking streamers and ticker tape flying everywhere, and Guerrero comes out, and they share that moment, both two men in the ring.
I'm getting chills now. There's nothing that's the best possible moment that they ever had, and it was so organic, and they're both crying and hugging each other because they both did it. They were both the underdogs, and they did it on the biggest stage of them all in Madison Square Garden, and nobody will ever take that away from them. And and now they can't show it because of Chris Benoit, but